So I just forked over word guess to my personal GitHub. I'm going to git clone it down here. I don't like that. There we go. I'm in my desktop Kilo challenges directory, git clone. All right, ls. Where's my word guess game? Right there. I'm going to cd into word guess. And then I'm already in here, so I kind of want to keep it like this. So here's my word guess, my CSV file, Jesus, and my actual application. So let's go back to the word guess game. The goal of this exercise is to refactor the included word guess py file to get its words from the included words.csv file. Playing the game, run Python word guess to start the game. Choose a difficulty level and then try to guess the word one letter at a time. You win when you complete the word and you lose if you run out of guesses. The word guess initializer accepts an optional Boolean, pass true to put the game in debug mode, which will review the chosen word at the beginning of the game. So the requirements after the game, to get its words from the provided words CSV file. The CSV file has 3 lines. The first entry on each line is the difficulty, and every other entry is a word for that difficulty. So this kind of explains what the CSV file is. Example, the first index, easy, then cat, followed by all the easy words. Easy mode, everything else is the difficulty. It's for the easy difficulty. The updated program should read the CSV and select a random word from the appropriate difficulty. No other gameplay changes are required. Adapted from, so cool. So let's just run playing the game, just so we can kind of see what's going on. I'm going to keep pressing that. I'm going to clear down here in the terminal. I'm going to zoom in. So I just kind of want to look through here as well. Just look, all right, we have a word class. We have tries, easy, medium, hard. I'm guessing this is how many tries each level of difficulty has. We have our init, we have a self debug equals debug. So it can pass in a parameter. The default parameter is false. So if I don't pass in any parameter or any argument, then the default is false. Possible words selected at random. So I see that self.words is a dictionary with the key as the difficulty level, and the value is an array of words that correspond to that difficulty level. Self.mode is a method. Is that invoked as my init file? So self.mode gets initialized. So I'm just going to go down here into self.mode. All right, mode is an empty string, while mode not in easy, medium, hard. Input, so it takes an input from the user. This can be easy, medium, or hard. Then we return easy, medium, or hard. I'm going to go back up here into our init. All right, and then here self.words, random. So this selects a random choice in the dictionary, self.words, and the mode, which is easy, medium, or hard. So selects a random word from here. And self.guesses, self.tries, easy, medium, or hard. So we get 10 tries. We select easy. And so I'm just like walking through the logic of the code every time this runs and seeing like the logical flow of the user word list. Okay, we've got these little dots times the length of the word that it chose. Then the user guess keeps track of the user guess. Okay, I'm just gonna run this. Python 3, bring this to the top, see what it looks like. Easy, medium, or hard. Easy, A, E, I. All right. What do we think it is?
I failed every time I tried on.
It's a feast. Well, I'm not going to cheat. So it's a 3-letter word.
Wheel of Fortune rules. RSTLNE.
R.
Wheel of Fortune.
All right. Git? What guy? Is it Git? Mit?
Lit.
Oh, lit. Yeah, cool.
He wins the game. He wins.
All right.
I may have cheated.
Great. So that's how the game works. You can end the game if self.1. Where is it? Play turn. Ask for letter. Comes down here. Say ask for letter. Please enter your letter. Cool. All right. So the whole point of this CSVs, we need to extract the CSVs. From what we learned yesterday, where should we put this? Where should we read from the CSV? Should we read it in the init? I've seen people do it here. I've seen people put it out here. There necessarily isn't a right or wrong answer, but I'm just gonna do it up here. Open, wait, I don't even know what it is. Look back at it. Notes, look back at the curriculum. So this is a dict writer. We want our reader. This returns a row, and this returns a dictionary. With this dict reader, returns a dictionary, and this just basic reader returns a list. Which one should we use and why?
We should use a dictionary because dictionary is used already in the program, so.
We could just use reader because dict reader is really hard to get going.
So I've got dict reader.
Because dict reader needs the first row to be the keys.
Okay.
Using dict reader. So reader, you just need the list because then you can just pull the first element out and use the rest of the list.
Yep. So you could use dict reader, but dict reader is useful when you have headers already, and so it matches that header as the key, and the value is the value at that row. So since we don't have any headers, we just have 3 rows, and the first index is the difficulty level, and everything else is the word. I'm going to use the reader. I'm just going to open it up here. Open NFL teams. It's words.csv as. I'm going to just run this, see what it does. So it takes in the words with open, takes in the word CSV file from here as CSV file. We assign a variable CSV reader to CSV.reader, which is the reader is a built-in method in the CSV library. We pass in the CSV file. This can be called anything. Words CSV file. So it passes in the word CSV file as CSV reader, and then for row in CSV reader, we're gonna print the row. Clear, I'm gonna run this. What should we see happen? So I run this words Python file. I see where we instantiate a new words guess game. But it's going to come in here and read this first. It should. Yep. So let's see. It's going to. All right. Cool. And now it starts the game. Cool. But we want to change this with.
Wait. So we only have 10 tries to guess the sentimentalize?
No, you only get
You only have
4 tries. You only get 4 tries for that. That's why it's harder. So we need to create a dictionary of the easy, medium, hard with all the values after the first index. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to create words dict equal e. I'm going to assign it to an empty array. I'm I'm essentially just going to copy this over. And delete. So for row, so in each row, how do I grab the very first index of the row? I want to print, I just want to print the very first index, because the very first index at index 0 represents the difficulty level.
Row bracket 0.
Row bracket 0. So I'm going to clear, whoop, clear. So with here, what should I see? If it comes into here, opens up the word CSV file, grabs each row, which is 3 rows. I'm going to actually toggle that. Grabs the first row, the second row, the third row, and only grabs the very first index, or the value at index 0. Oh, great. So what should it be?
It should be just down. Just down.
So then you don't need to.
No, it's grabbing the
So-
key.
Row at
Right here, when I'm printing the entire row, and then I'm grabbing the very first value.
Yeah.
So let's run that. All right, medium, easy, hard. Crap. Medium, easy, hard. Great. Now what can I do? I can append it to a list. Append what to a list?
The rows actually populated.
Yes. Yes, but first I have to assign the easy. So I'm just going to assign in this words.dict. So in here, I'm accessing this dictionary, and the value, or like the key, which will medium, I'm going to assign it to something. And then at the very end, I'm going to print the words dict. What should this equal? What should be the output of this?
This would have something.
So right here,
something to each.
So the row from 1 to the end. So
right, but like right now with this code, what should be the expected output when I print the words.dict?
Have these E equals something and something.
So E should equal something, M should equal like the actual word
Yeah, that
something,
should
H should be a string of something. So I'm going to exit out of there, clear, and run this. So E equals something, M equals something. Great. But now I want to grab all the words from excluding the first index, like all of them in this row. Oh, this CSV file is really taking up a lot of. All right. So how do I do that?
Same thing, except instead of 0, you put 1 column.
Row
Yeah, 1 column.
1 colon?
Yeah.
What does this 1 colon do? What is this represented?
That's the first index, and everything after the colon is everything out of the list.
Slices.
So yep, it slices.
So if you had a number, it would say start at 1, end at 6.
So what if I did, yeah, like, so like you said, Kenneth, what if it just was like 6, like 1 to 6? I just want to grab the first 6. What the heck? Oh, I didn't print it. So I want to print words dict down here, clear. So it grabs like the very first 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, it doesn't. The first 5. So it looks like excluding the 6. So if I wanted the 6, I'd have to put 7. Let's run that again. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Same thing with medium. Same thing with hard. But if I want to go to the very end of,
You just tell it not to slice it.
Oh, no.
So if I do this, print word dict at E, I should just get all the values at E. Are there a lot of values at E, or are there more at hard, or less at hard?
More readable.
More readable at E? All right. So I'm just going to print.
A lot of short words.
Where M is the most.
All right, cool. So I only get the E value, easy values. Clear. Great. So I have that.
Because you're saying words dict at row 0 there equals row 1, like you don't even need to put in any of those lists and like you just have an empty dictionary.
So here I can just have an empty dictionary.
You don't need there because it's pulling the name of each of the lines from.
So it's already assigning.
It's assigning it there, so that way if you entered in a CSV with maybe a different level of difficulty, potentially put in that row too.
Cool.
It makes it a little more sticky.
Let's try this. Print. So what Dan was saying was we don't even need to have the key values already hard-coded in there, which is good because it prevents scalability, or it allows for scalability if you want to add more difficulty levels or something like that.
Literally just have to change like the charts.
All right, cool. We got them all. Looks like it. Now, where do we want? So we have this words dictionary up here. Is this a global variable that is accessible in here?
Which one?
Is this words dict variable a global variable that I'm able to access within here?
Yes.
It is. Let's try it. Like words. So I'm going to assign this words dict dictionary that has what we want to this self.words. And if it works, I'm going to put in true down here. So what happens when I put in this true parameter as an argument? So if I pass in true, call it init, takes in one argument, which is debug, and the default value is false. So if I don't put anything in it, it's automatically false. But right now I'm passing in true. Turns in debug. It's going to
Tell you what word.
It's going to tell me what word I picked. So hopefully it works. All right, nothing broke so far. Let's do H. I want to do hard. All right, your word is super formidable.
It is. Really.
It is
I was just
really.
gonna say. So what's the word?
Cool. Does anybody have any questions?
If that's like outside the class as a global variable, why did you not need to define words dictionary as a global variable beneath the class?
So in here, like global, or
just like where you would put like a class variable? Yeah, just how you, or there.
so words, this makes, so if I want to do invoke or create a variable within this init function called words dict. So right now it's just essentially kind of like, I don't even, it's just like a class variable or a variable only within the init function. I actually don't have access to this words dict or some variable, whatever you want to call it. If I declare a variable called some var within the init, I only have access to it within the init function. Now, if I did self.somevar, now I have access to throughout the entire. But if I decided to call it global in front of it, so I'm creating a new variable called somevar and assigning global keyword in front of it, now I make it a global variable throughout here. But if I create any variable within the scope of this application, so the region that this application is executed in or written in, so this entire file, if I assign it at the very top, like words dict, I can even do that. If I assign it at the very top, not within the scope of any class or method or function, it will be a global variable. So I can essentially do the same thing here, and it should still work. So that global creates it a global variable if I'm like declaring it within a method or function or something like that, where otherwise it would just be defined to its scope, to like it's only accessible within the method it's called or invoked or assigned. But if I assign global in front of it, then I have access to it throughout the entire application. It's not dependent on, it's not only available within the scope of which I defined it in.
So does it matter much where you open the CSV? Because like for instance, I put mine in the init because I literally just replaced what self.words did in the dictionary there. So I put it, like that's when I build my new dictionary up.
So the question was, does it really matter where this is declared in?
We don't need it until you're
Because we don't necessarily. So
starting.
some people put it in here.
Yeah, just basically place it self.section. So
Like this.
I literally put it where it says self.words equals words dictionary. That whole thing is in that section where it says possible word is selected at random.
Like this?
No. I mean, I still had the self.words equals word dict, but that was like right under the whole. Like that was my last line of that. Yeah.
Like that.
That was how I wrote mine.
And it worked?
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
But I
So
wasn't sure if there was like, design choice stuff that mattered much. It's possible to have something like that in it. Be populated.
let's run this. I just want to see how it works. So the question was, does it really matter where you define it? So it works still, great. No, it really doesn't. Ideally, you want to define essentially, I think this is best practice. I would prefer this because now if I decide not to play this game, and I run this file, nothing should happen. However, if I had it up here, if I had it all the way up here, it would still run, even if I won't see anything. So nothing actually happens, but you don't see anything happen on the screen, but this is in fact executing and it's creating a word stick. So if I even print words stick down here in the terminal, I will get print that word. So if you put it, yeah. So if you put this within the init somewhere, that's good.
I instead of making another variable with the empty dictionary, I just took self.words, made it that, and put everything in self.words. What are the advantages or disadvantages of creating a different variable?
So you just essentially did
So I did self.words instead of word.
self.words.
Yeah.
That works too.
Yeah.
I think.
And then you just
No, yeah, just transfer that. Is there any like advantages or disadvantages of doing it that way?
No, I think either or works. So what questions do you have about reading from the CSV file? Nothing? Great.
So what's the main definition between reader, or difference between reader and dict reader?
So let's look at the documentation. So reader returns everything in the row in a list, like an array, whereas dict reader returns it in a key value, like as a dictionary, where the header, like the ID, is the key, and the value is that value at that place in the row. And so that's the difference. But CSV and Python. So reader, like that. We'll create over lines, an object scored arrow. So each row read from the CS file is returned as a list of strings, whereas dict reader does say a row whose keys are given in optional field names. What does it say? Yeah, essentially returns it as a dictionary. Yeah, so dict reader and writer return everything in a dictionary, whereas just the writer and the reader methods returns everything as a row or as a list. There's all these other built-in methods. Limiter, double quote, stuff like that. All right, if you have no more questions, I'm going to